some of you really want this time or this season of waiting to come to an end. For some of you, you have already accomplished certain things in your life, right? But the only thing that you want or desire is to have a mate or have that person, okay? That God sent person in your life. And so let me tell you something, even though the process has been very difficult up to this point, know that the patience and the discipline that came with you waiting on God's timing, the end result is going to be that you are going to be truly blessed when God brings that person into your life. And so the sacrifices that you have made was not in vain, okay? The sacrifices you have made was not in vain. It is going to be worth it. Being single is not the worst thing that could ever happen to you. The culture we are in today, people believe that you always have to be in a relationship or should never be single. And so here it is, there's this ongoing cycle of people hurting people. You know, we hear the phrase, hurt people hurt people. And so if one person cheated on them with someone else, they're going to take that energy in the next relationship they go in. And that's why the single season is so important. You know, it is a time where you have to get rid of those negative feelings, okay, before you decide to enter into the world of dating and pursue other relationships with the desire to be married. I would encourage you, my brother, I would encourage you, my sister, that everything that you have sacrificed up to this point was for a divine reason, was for a divine purpose. During those nights where you were in your room thinking and asking the Lord, when is this going to actually happen? When am I actually going to meet my kingdom spouse? Your kingdom spouse who's waiting for you is feeling the same way. When you had those desires within you and you was feeling like that, your kingdom spouse was feeling the same way. They desire you too, while they are on their path of singleness. And so you both desire one another in the spirit. It's just a matter of time until you both come together as one. Even though the time has been very draining, it feels like it has been delayed, but understand that it was for a specific time. As long as you decided to trust God during your process, your single process, you can guarantee that when you come out or transition out of that season of singleness into that season of being in a relationship and then into marriage, you are going to benefit so greatly from that. Understand, when God does something in a certain way, He decides to set things up in a certain way for your life. It is not to hurt you, but to add to your life and bring blessings into your life. God is a God of order. During the times, you know, those times where you felt like you should have been with someone already, those probably weren't the times that God felt that you were ready to receive your spouse. And so even though you may have thought that you were ready to be in a relationship, God was saying, no, you're not ready. You need to get yourself together. You may have been emotionally unstable because of things you went through in your past. Some of the things that have transpired in your childhood, God needed to deal with before He allowed you to embark that season of being in a relationship and then married. Don't let anyone make you feel and believe that the time that you waited has been in vain. Some of you may have experienced people who would try to make you feel bad about being single. They look at your life, okay, like they know your life. And they say, one, you're at an age where you should have already met someone. probably at a settled age, and they're saying, why are you still into looking for a spouse? You know, they try to discourage you and make you believe that it's too late for you to be in a relationship. It's too late for God to actually connect you with someone, when that is not the case. Some of you who are watching right now, every time they ask you, you dating? You seeing anyone? Anytime they ask you that, you're like, why is this person asking me this again? Okay? And tired of it. So this is how it is, right? You're single, right? So you're not in a relationship as yet. So when they see you, they say, are you in a relationship? And then when you are in a relationship, they ask you, when are you both getting married? And then after that, when you're married, they ask you, when you're having children. That's how the society is. It's like one thing after the next, okay? And so even when you get married, you don't want anyone to pressure you to, just because the world is saying that you should have certain things at a certain time, you and your spouse will decide, after you get married, when you want to have children and all of those other things. Don't let the pressure of society make you feel as if you have to rush and do this and that. That's why the world is the way it is, because people try to do things to please the expectations of others. Okay? And so I want to encourage you, even up to this point in your life, let God lead you and guide you, okay? Ignore the naysayers. Some of you have been experiencing criticism because you are single. Some people look at you and they're jealous, okay? People think you're crazy. People think something is wrong with you because you are still believing God for the things that He has promised you. For some of you, some may find it strange that you have never been married. And some people, because you are still young and you haven't had children, they may try to tell you or make you feel bad and say, gee, you don't even have a child yet. They try to criticize that because you don't have a child. Even though you're not married yet, they think that you should have the child first and then get married, because your life does not go in the same direction as the world. They believe that you are strange and something is wrong with you. Believe me, you are going to experience true love